Today we're going to look at the reasons why a traditional Titanfall 3 sequel will not be released in the way that players are expecting, and we'll speculate as to possible ways that Respawn could push some more Titanfall universe goodies our way. I was thinking about this all weekend long while playing Titanfall 2. If you haven't been paying attention, Respawn fixed the servers about a month ago, and it's been incredible. Huge numbers coming back to play the game, varying skill degrees, lots of different loadouts. It honestly is like jumping back in time and playing Titanfall multiplayer in like 2018, 2019. So go out there, play, I'll keep stressing it for as long as possible. It is so much fun. People are speculating that because of the fixes and the featured playlist updates and all the stuff that's been happening with Titanfall 2, that later this month on the 27th, Titanfall 3 will be revealed. While there are plenty of Easter eggs for the number 3, I have no clue what they could possibly do, if anything, at the end of this month. And I want to ask you straight on, do you believe that a $70 Titanfall 3 title will be released, knowing that the direction FPS games have gone the last few years has mainly been free to play? And more so, think about Respawn. Would they ask their massive player base of Apex players, all accustomed to free to play, to buy a premium multiplayer shooter? I'm talking about the way that Titanfall 2 was. Your $60 game, single player, multiplayer. That's how things were back in 2016. We didn't have crossplay. We didn't have free to play to the degree that we do now, at least on the mainline AAA FPS games. I have a hard time believing that Respawn would just push a Titanfall 3 out in that way. Let's just look at a few things, okay? Titanfall 2 was built by a team of around 90 people. How big do you think Respawn is now? Over 900 people work at Respawn Entertainment now. That is how much has changed at that studio since the release of Apex and the success of their Star Wars titles. Respawn is a completely different studio with resources that far outclass what they had during the Titanfall 2 era. This means they could do a lot of things. In my mind, if we are going to get anything more Titanfall 3-esque, I foresee them maybe releasing a standalone campaign. Because for a second, we're just going to put this on the side. I don't actually think them releasing a $70 standalone FPS game with their player base, their Apex audience, I don't think that would be as successful as if they used sort of the hub style of the Apex launcher being the main hub, releasing a standalone campaign that players can purchase and play through. Titanfall Legends we learned about earlier this year. It's apparently a canceled single-player game that took elements of both Apex Legends and Titanfall. Apparently 50 people were affected by the game's cancellation. We learned about it in February, and that the team had put some effort into a standalone single-player experience in the Titanfall and Apex universe. Where else would you deploy something like that, if not in the Apex launcher, to utilize the player base that is far bigger than Titanfall's? I'm not saying that a traditional Titanfall 3 multiplayer couldn't be coming, but if it is, I think it's totally going to be free to play, implemented into Apex somehow. It'll have crossplay, and it'll take advantage of all the big innovations and changes that has happened in the AAA FPS space the last few years. I've also been thinking about Apex Legends. How many more years does that game really have before it needs a shot of something big, a really big announcement to revitalize energy, get new players in, and change things up dramatically? Well, with the release of Counter-Strike 2, obviously Source 2 is now a reality. Wondering if Apex is going to look at doing a sequel, a 2.0 update, whatever it may be, a huge overhaul with potentially a new and improved engine. In my mind, Apex only has a few more years, say 3, before it really needs a big shot of a large announcement, something that gets the hype going huge. Could an Apex 2 coincide with Titanfall Legends being completed, implemented in some form of a standalone campaign you can purchase, and at the same time a Titanfall 3-esque multiplayer being put all into the same launcher? I think about the way that Call of Duty is doing it with the HQ system. It's not very pretty and the menu is really confusing, but Activision has recognized the importance of keeping all of your players on the same launcher. It's very easy to do cross-pollination and promotion and one big microtransaction ecosystem if you're all on the same platform. What is a little bit of a bummer if they go that route, if the multiplayer will be free to play. Honestly, Titanfall 2 in my mind did microtransactions perfectly. The $60 game got you an incredible campaign, a finished multiplayer on day one, and nothing in the store that really produced FOMO. I purchased microtransactions in Titanfall 2 to support the game that they were giving to us, an incredible title with great free post-launch support, and all you were buying were weapon skins, and you got them in big packs and bundles. They were priced super fairly. I hope if we do see anything Titanfall 3, they're able to maintain that level of goodness, because I still look at Titanfall 2 as the last great standalone FPS game from that old school era. Pre-crossplay, free-to-play, all that stuff. That's why I think it's sort of funny seeing all of the Titanfall 3 speculation videos, because in my mind, I do not realistically see a $70 standalone game being released. The campaign, maybe so. Charge what you want. I'm not talking about the pricing. I just don't think that Respawn as a studio, after the success they've seen with free-to-play, and they're a massive free-to-play audience, is going to then ask them to spend money to play, in their mind, what is a different set of multiplayer modes. I just don't see it. I do see a free or freemium style version working that unites everybody in one big ecosystem, where the BR is one mode, the Titanfall 3, 2.5, whatever is its own mode, all housed in the same thing. But you gotta let me know, am I crazy? Am I off my rocker? Do I need to take my pills? We may not be getting anything at all. It could just be a big elaborate troll for some story thing that's coming in the next Apex season. Who knows? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments below. Have a great week, and we will see you again very soon.